Hello there guys and welcome back to That Sports Guy. I hope you're all good. So today we are looking ahead to the boxing's return and Josh Warrington v Mauricio Lara. Now it's been a while since we've seen Josh Warrington in the ring, isn't it? I think it's about 15-16 months, and since then he has vacated his IBF title, as we know, and it is going to be Kid Galahad and Jazza Dickens fighting for that in the not too distant future. Anyway, today we are previewing the card that we've got ourselves this weekend, looking ahead to some fights on the undercard and giving our opinions who we think might win. So let's get straight into it. And there's some intriguing names on the bill. Of course, there's not been any boxing since December. Originally, I think it was supposed to come back in January, but with the current circumstances, it hasn't. But as I say, Josh Warrington's headlining, and we'll start from the bottom of the card, and then we'll work our way to the top of the bill, and give you our opinions, who we think will win, who to look out for, what fights are most promising. So to start with, kicking off the show, we've got Ibrahim Nadim and Johnny Phillips. Johnny Phillips, I believe we've seen before in the fight camp shows later last summer. I believe he was on there. Yeah, a good fight. He looks okay. Not really too much to shout home about this fight, but again, I suspect it will just be on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, kicking off the show like you often get. Then we got Hopey Price. He's impressed me so far, of course, trained by Dave Caldwell. He'll be looking to continue his impressive form he showed last year. He's up against Zaheen Hussein. I can't say I know too much about him, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's just a run-of-the-mill fight for Hopey Price, and let's hope he continues where he left off. Dalton Smith next on the card. Again, he's a good prospect from Sheffield. A lot of people rate him. I've seen him so far in his very few pro fights he's had. Obviously, he had a bit of a stellar amateur career, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He's against Ismail Ellis. And then a really good fight, which I think is going to be potentially steal the show, and that's for the British title between Lee Wood and Reece Mould. Now, we all know Lee Wood. He's been in some up and down fights. Again, I believe he's trained by Dave Caldwell, or managed at least. He was in the MTK Golden Contract, I believe. He might have even lost to Jazza Dickens, if I'm right. But yeah, Lee Wood, a good fighter from Nottingham, so be interesting to see how he gets on. I don't know too much about Reece Mould, if I'm being honest. He's not someone who I've seen box before or come across, so a bit of a limited knowledge on him, I'm afraid, but I certainly know who Lee Wood is. Next is, again, I've used this to describe the previous fight, but this could be fight on the right. A big step up for him, and that is Zelfa Barrett against Kiko Martinez. And we all know Kiko Martinez, he fought Scott Quigg, Carl Frampton twice. He sort of is the nearly fighter at super bantamweight. He nearly done great things, but ultimately he never really reached his potential, I don't think. And now, at this point in his career, I'm not sure what he's got left. I'm not sure he has the hunger and determination to have another run at it, if you like. Zelfa Barrett, he made his matchroom debut in Fight Camp. Very impressive win he had there. Some say he was losing his fight and he pulled one out of the bag, but yeah, interesting fight for him. I think this is probably his biggest opponent name-wise, and I think it's going to be his sort of breakthrough fight, if you like. I mean, Kiko Martinez, yes, he's not what he once was, but again, I think it's going to be a good name to have on his record, and potentially one that sets him up for a bigger fight later this year. And then, as I say, topping the bill is Josh Warrington and Mauricio Lara. Josh Warrington, I think this was always going to be a takeover fight for him. I think he wants to fight next for the Ring Magazine belt, so it'll be interesting to see if he fights Gary Russell or someone alike. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, he obviously vacated his IBF title to pursue these things, and it'd be interesting to see later on down the line if he fights either the winner of Dickens and Galahad, or if he just sort of continues to impress and goes up his career to another trajectory with the likes of Gary Russell and those sort of elite fighters in this division. I don't really see many upsets on the bill, if I'm being honest. I think it's a sort of standard fight card where you generally would see all the matchroom fighters winning, and I don't think that's any different this week. Fight of the night could quite possibly be the Lee Wood fight or Zalfa Barrett, Kiko Martinez. Very, well, I don't know if it's a bold move, but hats off to Zalfa Barrett taking this sort of level of opponent, because I don't think he's really that long in his career. And then obviously Josh Warrington, you expect him to come through, you know, he hasn't boxed for 15, 16 months, but then again, someone like him, I think that wouldn't really be too detrimental to him. I think that he'll come through that quite comfortably. And then, as I said, set up a Gary Russell Jr. or a like later on in the year. Oh, I know he was, before he vacated, he was looking at a unification fight, so if that still comes off, who knows, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Thanks for watching.